Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, kings, queens, peasants, and pussy poppers. It's your boy Cliff the Gift, slanging that wood, not that stick. Your man might keep it 100, but you see me, I'm gonna give you that extra inch. And I'm here with my two guys. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves in this bitch.
What it is, family? It's your boy T Rich, you punk ass, filthy dog head bitch. I'm right here chilling out with my dogs right now. My man Lily is definitely in the building. I'm gonna pass it to him.
AKA Young Lily, also known as the Black MacGyver and Mr. 420 himself. Man, what's going on, fellas? What's happening?
Oh man,
Man, ain't too much going on, man. They just had Glasses Malone. He dropped a new song with a new visual.
I seen that.
I still ain't seen it.
You still
I heard
ain't
about
seen
it though. Just the title itself is like kind of polarizing.
It is.
I would say.
Tupac deserved to die.
Yeah, well, when I first saw it, which was within like the first 2 or 3 hours he had posted it. I was on Twitter when the shit first dropped, and it was like Tupac deserved to die.
Yeah.
Period.
I gotta see the whole backstory.
And then they changed it, like it was like a big media backlash. Like a lot of people weren't fucking with the title. They're like, man, like the way this shit is said, like the video. We see what you were doing, like you trying to draw attention. So that afterwards, like maybe 20 hours later, they ended up changing the campaign to "Did Tupac deserve to die?" ?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the problems that it caused. But
like I say, when I saw it, because he was on and that's how he tried to change it. And when I think I saw him on like the Breakfast Club or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was saying, and he is basically saying like, you know, he was just trying to be artistic with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how the streets are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are certain codes out here, and that's like the message in his thing was Pac involved himself in something that street niggas would know that you're not supposed to do at the time. Like the way that he went about it. Mm-hmm. And it was like, after you make certain decisions, it comes with certain consequences in the street. So it's like, it's just like, you know, if you go sell drugs and you get caught by undercover, it's like you deserve to go to jail, right?
Right.
And it's just like you went and took off on a known gang member in a certain situation, and
you didn't even understand the totality of the situation.
Right.
Like you didn't understand the politics behind what you just did.
Yeah.
And that's it's not entirely his fault, but it's majority his fault because you wasn't from LA, Pac. Like, as much as you want to claim LA, as much as you want to claim the West, you wasn't from LA like that. You had been hanging with some niggas.
Not even
for a cool minute. And you tried to acclimate yourself in these LA streets, and you was hanging around with known gangmen and niggas that was calling shots and niggas that was making shit move around. But at the same time, you wasn't in as deep as niggas who been here all the time. Niggas who out here on the front lines. You know what I'm saying? So for you to just jump into a situation that really didn't have nothing to do with you, it's almost like you kind of brought your own demise upon yourself. And I know that may be fucked up to say, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Pac. I don't mean no disrespect by that, but it's like, bro, you kind of jumped into the deep end like a little too soon.
We were talking about it earlier, you know, and I said basically the same thing. By the rules, not by morals, not by whatever, however you feel about it. Just by the rules of the street. You involve yourself in that situation. Those are the repercussions that come along with it. That's the decision you decided to make.
And whoever it was that was trying to get him ingratiated into the whole situation, you know, I don't know whose hood it was, but it's like, nigga, you kind of got to let him know. You got to get him up to speed a lot quicker if you're going to be taking him, if he going to be in your entourage, y'all going to be moving.
Well, all of that information is out in the open now.
Yeah.
Now it is. But at the time, it's like, it's like black people, like when a large group of people start running, we don't ask questions, nigga. We just run.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't look around trying to assess what's going on. Niggas just take off running.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that kind of was what happened with that whole situation.
And Pac mentality of just saying, like, this is what we doing over here at Death Row. I'm just going to keep continuing. I'm thinking I'm acting. And it's kind of like I'm trying to play my persona. And nigga just told me
I was so serious.
I was talking to somebody about that the other day. It was like, Like Pac had already had albums before All Eyes on Me. Before he even got with Death Row, Pac was already a fucking
An established artist.
yeah, he was an artist already, but he was known a lot more for his film resume. At the time, he was a bigger actor than he was a fucking musician.
Yeah.
It wasn't up until Me Against the World to where it was like, okay, now people are really starting to give him his credit. And then when he caught that
When
case,
he got around Snoop Dogg,
Suge got up there and was like, Pac, you got your back, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you come out, you're going to be set. We got a spot for you over here at Death Row.
But that was because
then it was like, okay, now I'm Pac. Now I'm on my thug life. Like, but beforehand, nigga, you was a fucking actor. You know what I'm saying? You was a fucking.
I kind of like. I felt like, and not even once again, not in a disrespectful way. It was him playing. Like, I don't feel like that was really him. Like that. Like you ain't a gang member. You ain't a mob. You ain't like that's not you.
Well, I'm not gonna say that. Like parts. I'm not gonna say in the integral part of Pac. I'm not gonna say that that's not him because he did come up.
No, I'm saying like involving yourself in that type of like.
Check this out.
Is that what you would have involved yourself in any other way if you weren't around these people?
Like I said,
he still grew up in the streets.
Yeah,
he still grew up in Brooklyn and Oakland.
But even there, like when would he have been in that same situation hanging around Digital Underground?
Let me say this.
Or was it being
would
around
he really have had time?
Guys, listen. Hold on, wait.
Full-fledged musician at the time.
Listen.
That's what I'm saying.
So what I'm saying is, we got to look at this and you got to learn from it. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at it and learn. And what I see in a lot of similarities in what Tupac got going on is what you see happening in the rap game now. Niggas wait until they get their money and wait until they get on to start being that nigga in the street. To start being that, like you go get get an advancement a lot, but I'm saying a lot of the younger dudes though, like some of these dudes was never selling drugs, was never doing none of that, but as soon as they get their first $10,000 check, now they want to go buy a brick and think they gonna break it down and do whatever, and they go buy the pounds for their niggas
and it look clownish,
it look clownish because you don't know what you're doing, and that's how you end up putting yourself in a lot of these street beefs. That's why I feel like a lot of these young rappers, you know. Rappers were not getting killed at the rate they getting killed now.
No,
every week, like, it's a new rapper that's getting killed. You know,
but then again,
saying?
Everybody's a fucking rapper. You could get in a car accident. And
a good example was the Soulja Boy
true.
shit. You know what I'm saying? And I know Soulja Boy come from
Tekashi.
a different environment from the LA situation. You know what I'm saying? He come from something similar, but it's not the culture out here in LA is different from the shit in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? The politics and where you supposed to go and who you supposed to be around it's a lot different. Now you may come out here and it's a lot of niggas that may be inviting, but it's only because of your image. They feel like their image is gonna benefit them. You know what I'm saying?
Your image is gonna benefit the hood.
Yeah,
exactly. So that's why you find yourself kind of like in the crosshairs, but you not really understanding why you in the crosshairs.
And really and truthfully, you thinking you going like they thinking like, nah, you just around us to help, you know, facilitate some money, and niggas really be low key extorting you. But you be sitting there, them niggas sitting there feeling like, they letting me be a part of the business of the shit.
The shit that we already had brewing up and manifesting and shit. Now you done came along. Now you gonna help. Now your buzz and your image is gonna help perpetuate the shit that we already had going.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's why I say it's tragic what happened to Tupac, and that's why I say it's like why I don't see how.
Did y'all hear the song?
Yeah, I heard the song.
What was he saying in the song?
Video. He was basically telling a story of the events that occurred
leading
up to his
Orlando killing the guy.
Yeah. So basically, it started in L.A. and niggas was taking a road trip up to Vegas, and they were explaining the events that happened with the chain getting jacked, and they explained like all the shit that happened leading up to them look like.
Wait, the chain got snatched out here though.
A Death Row chain got snatched at Lakewood Mall.
Yeah.
And so that happened like I want to say like a day or something before, 2 days or something before, something like that. And they knew everybody was going to Vegas. Like they had already planned them the guys, Keefe D, Orlando, and I forgot who the other. It was like three. It's 4 niggas in this car. Yeah. But it's 4 niggas in that car. 4 niggas in that car. 4 outside, Crip niggas in that car. and that was them. Keefy D is the one who, if you go look at some of the media outlets, that's out there, you can go check out some of his interviews. He was actually in the car that shot at Pac. You know what I'm saying? Which is like I said, it's crazy that they granted him immunity for telling the story because of some other cases. I was like, wow, that's crazy. But it ain't snitching if everybody in the car dead except him.
It's crazy because the detective, I think his name is
Caden, yeah.
Caden. He actually had an interview with Vlad where he said niggas actually, like when you're already an informant, like sometimes they won't even come to you asking for certain information. Sometimes they'll kind of snitch forward in exchange for
thinking later on down the road.
Future, you know what I'm saying? And it's it gets so ugly when it comes to the whole informant thing and motherfuckers getting.
I mean, it's ratting, but like I say, if the people you telling on are dead, I mean, I can't say that it's ratting because I mean, you gonna dig up a dead man and charge him with the crime?
It's ratting regardless.
You gonna dig up a dead? I can't say that it's not. They go.
Is snitching on a cop ratting? Like if a cop did some fuck shit to you,
I'm telling.
And
the fuck, fuck that cop, and I'm suing the department.
Well,
I mean, you still gotta sit down, do a report, and do an interrogation, and put it on film.
All of that.
Then you gotta go to court, point him out, and all of that. It's like
all of that.
Depends on.
Is it ratting if it's a cop?
No. It's
not ratting if
it's supposed to, I mean, not like honestly and truthfully, the mentality in jail and stuff is like if you rat on the cops, you ratting like it's just like ratting on the inmate too. Like you like ratting is ratting. It's snitching.
What?
That's why you can hear a lot of people say I'm never snitching on your enemies or your bros. Like you don't snitch on your enemies either. You know what I'm saying?
Trey even said that. He said the dude that fucking shot him, he was like, man, if you brought him in this room right now, he'd be like, oh, what's going on with you, bro? What's your name? Oh, they call you. Oh, okay, yeah, all right, man. We over that. Simply because it's like he already understood the codes. You know what I'm saying? He knows that it's no real reward other than I get to come out, be amongst the same group of people that I was with before I went in, not have to hide, not have to live in shame. My kids could look up to me as an honorable dude, you know what I'm saying? Because I kept my mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? I did the right thing. But for some people, it's like...
You don't care. Your kids gonna go to school and get teased. It ain't just you. That's what I'm saying. When you snitch like that, it don't just stop at you, though. You know what I'm saying? Your whole family gonna have to deal with this. A lot of people around you gotta deal with this. That's why I say I kind of like... I listen to a lot of them interviews. Like, I listened to the Keith D interview and Miles James and a lot of those older cats like talking about this situation. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying nobody ratting or snitching. I don't really understand. I don't understand their situation like that.
Yeah.
So I can't say what's snitching rat. I don't understand their situation like that.
Because it could be a plethora of it could be a lot of shit.
But for niggas to go and just expose all their business like that with
but I feel like they're at the point now where it's like they older and what the fuck gonna happen to them anyway. Might as well tell a story before can't nobody tell a story.
Yeah, I guess.
Especially when there's so many different versions of that same story he telling.
And
well,
I
mean,
just
never know.
But now they lining it up. Now they lining it up.
There's a consistent story that's agreed upon by multiple people that were all involved in some way, shape, or form with the situation.
Now they all lining it. It's all lining up because all of the stories they getting the facts that line up.
It's not really a mystery.
You can listen to different stories and hear where they actually corroborate.
I'm surprised.
The only thing is now is like the difference is the media. You don't want to hear that story about Pac, so they're not gonna you're not gonna hear that in mass media. Like this is the real story of what happened to Pac. It's gonna forever be a mystery.
Well, because people kind of want you. Like I say, and that's why I say this is no disrespect to Pac at all. But it's like when people die, you want to remember them in their best light.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying. It'll never get national media attention because of that. It'll always be the mystery that never got solved.
Speculation.
Yeah.
Most of it is speculation.
And only because
you get a little facts, and from those facts, you try and piece together what you really feel like happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you can find the piece together because when enough testimonies are aligning with each other, okay, you can pretty much conclude like, okay, maybe this really did happen.
Right.
You know,
and
what I'm
that's
saying?
what's happened in this situation.
But that's the thing with like situations like that. You know, from person to person, shit does get convoluted, and it does take enough time. Like niggas been
like
Pac
30
been dead
years.
for like 20-something years. You know, it's like I was fucking a kid when the shit happened.
You was fucking a kid when the shit happened.
No, I was. This nigga right here, man. Literally speaking, I was a fucking kid.
Literally.
I was a kid when the shit happened.
Oh, okay. I mean, nigga, it's 2019. We gotta figure out what the fuck you mean, nigga. Like this nigga said.
Come on, man.
It's weirdos out there, man.
It definitely is, but this man right here is not one of them. So, but no, it's things get twisted and construed, and a lot of shit just gets kind of watered down, and then after a while, you kind of don't know what the fuck is going on. It's like a rumor in high school.
But and that's why I say at this age, for those guys to be out here talking about it like that,
that's not, to me, that's like,
in a certain sense,
that's them getting close to the end of their life, and they just want to put it out there before they leave.
Because
in a way, like as you get older, that kind of happens.
You kind of just be like, yeah, fuck it. Let me get this shit off my chest. It make me feel better.
You compelled to do it.
It's healing. I feel like it's more healing, but it still is gonna cause some friction. You know, I just feel like it's gonna cause a little friction. I feel like it's been.
Why would it be G Malone though? Out of all people,
to put that out,
like why couldn't it be somebody who actually was in the mix at that time?
Well, he put it out because
he's from the hood.
I don't know if he's from. I don't want to say he's from there. I don't want to say that he.
G Malone from Watts.
It's Southside Crippin Watts. That's in Compton. Southside Crippin.
Yeah.
It's Compton. That's what I say. I don't really want to say. I don't know. I don't know what G Malone is, but he got homies like he's cool. He's cool with a lot of the people who were there.
I mean, I believe it. I mean, we're in a culture now where it's guys from hoods.
Those is big homies. Like those is really
like when you've been in this shit long enough, the politics and shit, you kind of like not necessarily you have your guard down, but it's like you develop enough respect for each other to where it's like you can have a man-to-man conversation and you can talk about shit and try and hash shit out and try to get to the bottom of situations. And y'all niggas have a mutual understanding like, okay, I guess this can be said because we've concluded like, all right, this and this and this happened. All right, well, I mean, it can be universally acknowledged that this went down. I can speak on it because ain't nobody else gonna be opposed to it.
Ain't it crazy how I feel like street life is preserved through jail?
It's a lot. The politics on the streets is just like the politics in jail.
A lot of it is sometimes dictated by jail.
That's what I'm saying. It's preserved by jail, and I say that in looking at it like this. When you get locked up, like you go there for some years, you're gonna be there for them years. You know what I'm saying? That's where you're gonna be at. So when somebody else does something and they go there for a couple months, you know what I'm saying? Or they go there for a week, or they there, just in the county for a couple days. If you from around the area, that's why they be asking who's who. Like, you know what I'm saying? This nigga is gonna remember he's been in jail for 5 years. You know what I'm saying? At a year, this nigga starting to know every face that come in here. And he knows when he sees a new one.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? That's the only place that you at. So it's starting to get preserved by that. So when you see somebody that you don't know, you go meet them, and you find out they from your hood. Like that gets back to the hood, comes back out. How this person handle themselves in jail? How this person, and it's a constant rotation. Mm-hmm. And it's so crazy that I feel like a lot of the black and brown communities have now grown up in jail.
No, they definitely have.
True.
Like that's why, like when you see a lot of cats, like for me, being the person that I am, like if I were to go to jail, it would be like a foreign thing, like because I don't.
You go, but it's like you go there and you learn your hood history, because that's what the niggas is still at.
For a nigga that's neutral, I don't know nobody like that. Well, I mean, I probably when I go to jail, I'm probably bound to meet somebody I know. But me not being a gang member, not being from a hood, it's like. I'm kind of like in a neutral standing with everybody up in there. I'm still subject to get pressed just because I'm in it.
They do that shit like that, but it's not like that, bro. But I'm just saying my
really
my
depends
tragic.
on how long you've been
I'm just saying my tragic. What I find tragic in that whole situation, like I'm saying, it's like there's people start making jail the college of the hood. You know what I'm saying? and it like I say, it's really what
that's
you.
that's really interesting.
Niggas say I got my stripes and all of that shit. I served,
Yeah.
I did my dime. I served my nigga, whatever.
You go like I did my course.
Like,
you know,
that's
I
your little
went to
accolade.
learn my hood history. You know, I actually met Big Whoop de Whoop de Whoop. He was at Whoop de Whoop with me. You know,
he doing life right now.
Yeah,
like, I got
exactly.
chop it up
I
with
got
him.
his stamp of approval.
I know it. You whatchamacallit? Man, I met your uncle in the pen and woo woo. You know what I'm saying?
Or that was my celly or what?
I really, yeah, he's a good guy. You know, and it's like that's why I say we start. It's so sickening that our communities, like nigga, this is literally how we have grown up, and it's crazy when you look at it like that. And that's why I say, even with that retaliation thing, going back to Pac, we can even look forward at Nipsey thing. We can look forward to. We can look at what I said. What's going on with Tekashi? What's going on with the NBA? With NBA YoungBoy? What's going on with all these young rappers? Soulja Boy. It's like the object is to go the other way. I use this to get where I'm trying to go. Like we just grew up to where it's like that's what we believe, bro. We really believe like that's the end. Like people are starting to see that like that they want to get rich to just go back to the street and be the biggest nigga in the street.
Yeah, because they feel like
that make me real.
But I mean, a lot of people they don't know what their purpose is, so they just look for a place of belonging. They feel like I belong right here because this is where I can operate and I can make shit move.
Right, it's all I know.
You know what I'm saying? And some people when they do a long enough bid or they get the mentality when they inside like, all right, I'm not gonna return back to this place because this is not where I can operate to my fullest potential. Like I feel like Nipsey has several fucking weapons charges, and he was like, you know what, I can't. It's not that he couldn't make shit move in there. It's just his purpose was to be on the outs and make shit move because he was a focal point of his hood. He was one of the staples in his hood, and he could really establish a movement within his own surroundings in his hood. That's why you never really seen Nipsey leave. Like you seen him leave, but it's like when you would ride through the 6-0s and you go by Slauson and Crenshaw, you know what I'm saying? You would see him like just out with his peoples. You'd be like, damn, them niggas is crazy. Like opening up a store right there. But it's like that was what he was destined to do. That was what he was supposed to do because he can make the shit move right there. Because he has that image. He has that charisma.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting because when you look at Pac and Nipsey are similar in very, very like a whole lot of ways. You know what I'm saying?
A lot different too, but I feel you.
They're very different, but at the same time, it's like they both had that charismatic nature about them. Like people were kind of drawn to them because even though they was some niggas that grew up in the streets, you could tell like they had got an early sense of knowledge, like and didn't even realize it. And they was preaching shit and speaking it only because they felt like they needed to. It was almost like some kind of divine presence that got into them and said, no, you need to speak about this shit. Right. Even though you is thugging, you in the streets, you can't change nothing about where you grew up at. You still got to put this out. Yeah. Because there's some niggas that need to hear it.
And you can see how one, in a way, theirs was the opposite from each other. Like Tupac was here at one point, intellectually, the things that he was doing, the things that he was saying were here. And Nipsey kind of started like here, and then they kind of ended up
meeting halfway.
Not even meeting halfway, but like kind of going the opposite direction.
Surpassing.
You look at where Tupac was in the final moments of his life and the situation that occurred in his life, and then look at the situation of Nipsey's life and what occurred towards the end of his life.
And that's what he was talking about.
They were on a sliding scale going two different
directions. And that's why like I feel like we had an episode probably a couple months back where we was talking about the gang culture and everything and how guys can jump into this life really fast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what happened with Pac. Like, even though he fell into some arms for some niggas that was really trying to advocate for his situation and they wanted him out because they want him to do his music. They wanted him to be the star that he could be. He did also he also endorsed a culture that he jumped into too quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And ultimately cost him his life.
And it cost him his life.
Right.
You know?
And I look at where Nipsey grew up in that culture. But he ended up turning and gaining knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and turning himself into something that could be an example for that area and was a light for that area. So while on his way out, he was still in the middle of growing something amazing.
Exactly.
And ultimately, but like I say, ultimately from that culture, what I say in street culture, because either or, you know what I'm saying, either or was both acts of retaliation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
For every action, there's a reaction.
Both were acts of retaliation.
No matter how subtle the action was, because Nipsey's was very much like just a nonviolent confrontation.
Yeah.
One thing was said, and you know that's where
it wasn't even out of a place of hatred. It was out of a place of, you know, a lesson that needed to be learned in somebody that was out of place.
Yeah.
Allegedly. So, well, y'all, man, we're going to wrap up this show. I want to make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe, follow us on all channels, at Cliff Notes Radio on all platforms. Make sure you search as Cliff Notes Radio on all streaming platforms to make sure that you can tune in and watch the show on
Tell
YouTube.
Your friends and family, your folks.
Everybody that you know.
Your boo, your bunny, your main thing, your side thing. Tell them all.
Yeah.
And make sure y'all follow us. Y'all follow me, it's T Rich. It's _T with 2 E's _Rich.
Tough Crowd Lil TUFFCROWD _LEEL.
Y'all can follow me at Real Cliff 225 on all platforms, man. We're gonna see y'all on the next one.
Shit.